It is Friday, July 17th, and that means it's time for This Week at Gear Report. And looks like today we've got Clover and Mitch with us. Hey, guys, good to see you.
What up?
Hey, guys.
Greetings. Well, we have the voices of Clover and Mitch. I guess
Right.
we'll be happy with that, right? I'm going to...
Be.
Yeah, really?
You don't pay enough to get the camera. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I took enough of your time earlier today anyway.
This ain't fans only.
Yeah. Oh, could we do that?
I don't know.
Yep. Go to our Patreon and then you can see us.
Yeah.
There you go.
I didn't even know you could do that. Huh. Well, yeah, before we really dig in this week, I kind of screwed up on StreamYard, the tool that we use for broadcasting, and had the time set up incorrectly. Until about 10 minutes ago, I realized I had it wrong, and I fixed it, but I think that screwed up the initial notification that goes out. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time for folks to show up. So in the meantime, Clover, why don't we talk about, I don't want to rehash our whole phone call from earlier today, but the kind of mess that went down here at Gear Report on YouTube today.
What am I gonna talk about? That happened to you.
Well, I know, but you were there supporting me and keeping me from freaking out and all that.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Live link is working on YouTube, says Mitch in the private chat. Thank you, sir. So that means...
Yeah, I just want to verify it.
Yeah, so people can find us now, where I had screwed up, and the past couple months we've had people logged in 30 minutes before the show talking in the chat, and we're in the pre-chat. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Well, why is no one here? Oh, because I screwed up. So I really apologize for all that.
And for anybody that out there that might have been here that early, bless you for, because that was what, 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern time or something?
It would have been 8 a.m. Eastern, and if anyone was here for that, oh no! If anyone got like an email went out and woke them up, especially
it was probably good for them.
Yeah.
They needed to be woken up.
I've been trying to get up closer to 5 o'clock. I did for a while, like for months. I got so much done; it was awesome. But then I got lazy. And I was getting up and working out and then getting work done. And, by the time I would normally get up on any given day, when I was in that get up, workout, and then log into the office early, I get up at 4:30. And by the time I was getting up before at like 8:30, by the time 8:30 rolled around, I'd already done like a full day's work. It was crazy. I got so much more done. And the amazing thing is you get up early like that and you beat people.
Go into places.
You beat people up. So it's not like I'm getting people emailing me and calling me and wanting to do stuff on Facebook. It's like everyone's sleeping, so I can get shit done. It's kind of awesome.
Yep.
I think I'm going to start doing that again. Yeah, but anyhow, so the drama today at Gear Report was this week's episode of Show Us Your Humvee posted like around midday-ish, and it was up for a little while, and it was actually starting to get a little traction and views, and a couple comments were coming in, and then it wouldn't load.
Yoink.
Yeah, like what's going on here? So
it's all the nudity and
I know
vulgarity in it.
Gratuitous nudity.
It was horrible.
Yeah. It would be. I mean, I am rocking some hardcore dad bod right now. So, since I haven't been working out in months and months. So
you can't show a Humvee with no doors. Come on.
I know.
Bad. Yeah. Well,
and then you focus in on those headlights. Can't focus on the headlights in a video. That's can't be the focal point. And you specifically mentioned the headlights. Shouldn't have done that.
Now you tell me. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So you didn't get a response. You're waiting to hear, or you don't know.
I have had I've had videos like that. This is the third video I've had pulled.
Oh.
And this was pulled twice, right? So I did a new version and put it up this afternoon, like re-rendered it, and I changed a segment in it. It's longer and has more.
Right.
And let me see here. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I just clicked in the studio, YouTube studio, and I don't see it again. Let me reload it. Maybe it's just like an old cached version in the browser. I got my fingers crossed now. You have got to be kidding me.
Somebody has found that video offensive.
The new version also removed.
What?
And marked monetization ineligible.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
And what's funny is they don't have to tell, or I guess they, if you ask, they just give you the blank, this doesn't follow our term of service or violate some sort of agreement, but they don't tell you what part, how do you know if it was?
I have no idea. Right.
That's bizarre. And how many videos do you have? Show us your Humvee. Like how many seasons or how many?
Well, this was episode 19.
So 18 previous ones that have been are fine and still there.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go through and appeal it first. And
yeah, definitely.
You should get a little better reasoning from the appeal, assuming that they shoot it down.
Did you do anything different in episode 19 compared to 1 through 18? Anything that you changed?
I didn't see anything. I've seen a couple of things that we rectified for the new version, especially. But you run that risk that because here's the thing, there's certain content that goes on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be it I don't know, be it conspiracy theory, be it theories, be it whatever it might be, we hear about YouTube pulling certain content, right? Well, that gets flagged, and then so somebody has downloaded that or screen captured that, and then they put it up in some form or fashion, and then they get hit by it too. So there's a certain portion that will see content. So I mean, if it contains the same content, that could be the subsequent times could simply be because that first time it got dinged, and those two are similar.
Well, you got to look at
much of a percentage.
Their terms of service. Right. And the things that you're getting dinged on, like you said, is it something that violates some sort of agreement? Is it no
comment, Jeff? No comment. Please clear.
So yeah, you don't ever know, and that's the thing that kills you is not the same thing, definitely different. But I was messing around and I got this notification because I haven't really done Amazon reviews. I have a lot of products that I've bought through Amazon, and some of them were tactical related. And I thought, well, maybe I could add some more reviews to my arsenal. So I went on to Amazon when they said, hey, would you like to do a review on this? I said, sure. So I filled out the review. I went to submit it, and I got a flag that said, suspicious activity on this account is barring you from doing any reviews. And I was like, I haven't done any reviews. So how can I have done anything suspicious? I know my account. I know what I've bought. So I sent them an email to their customer service and said,
I'm curious now what Mitch has been putting in his shopping cart. I'm just curious.
I can tell you what it is. It's nothing bad. But the funny thing is, why would that come up? And I started reading into it, and I read that I already know their terms of service. I've been an Amazon Prime member for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I just don't do reviews on their site because I find most of them kind of pointless. A lot of them anyway.
Oh yeah. Yep. I agree.
So bless your heart for G23 out there and Buck. I know Buck's seem like Buck's out there, but bless Buck's heart as well for showing up at 5 a.m. or whatever they said it was.
I won't blame him,
man.
I won't blame him if he was here then and just said, well, screw that guy. I'm not coming back.
Right.
Hey, that's fair. I get it. Yep. I earned that one. Yeah. Sorry. All I can say is you get what you pay for around here, right? Except for Buck. Buck's a Patreon. He deserves better, right?
Right.
He's a patron on
Oh, there
Patreon.
you go. There you go.
Oh, I am letting people down
There
right
he
and
is.
left.
Speaking of Buck,
There he is.
there he is.
There he is. Okay. I'm sorry, people.
Good morning.
All you got to do is talk about somebody, and then they'll show up. It's amazing how that works.
Really?
That's true.
Let's talk about Jennifer Aniston then.
Really?
No?
Elijah Dushku?
No,
maybe?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I am very happily married and
Mila Kunis?
yes. No. No. She was tainted by Kelso.
Kelso.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So this week at Gear Report, we have successfully stalled long enough for people to figure out that the show is actually
It does appear that way.
in the evening and not in the morning.
You are correct, sir.
Why don't we roll on to recently completed reviews? Oh, before we dive into that, if anyone wants to see the video, now I'm curious. YouTube hated the Show Us Your Humvee video so bad, I uploaded it to Facebook, which I've never done with one of those videos before. And I'm assuming it's still there, but I haven't checked. I half expect that if I go look for it, I'm going to find that they took it down.
Nah. YouTube hates Facebook, and Facebook hates YouTube. So
yeah,
you're gonna be safe with one of them.
That's the kind of day I'm having. And I also went and uploaded to Gunstreamer, and I couldn't get it to go. It said it was uploaded and everything, and I saved and I didn't see it. Maybe it was processing or something. I don't know. But I also pushed it up to BitChute. And when I left the computer, it was still processing. So hopefully it made it up there as well. But it'll sure remind you in a hurry when one site kind of goes nuts on you. It'll remind you that you really need to be diversifying to be sure that you don't have all your eggs in one basket.
Okay. So episode 19 of Show Us Your Humvee, can confirm, is on Facebook from Gear Report.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And it did not make it up on Gunstreamer for some reason. I don't get it. Let me see if I can find it on BitChute. Because why not, right?
Sure.
So do you guys use BitChute?
I do not. I'm not there yet.
Really? You're on every platform. I thought you were on a couple platforms that didn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's possible. I can't tell you about that. I'd have to kill you. Yeah.
Process and publish, it says on BitChute. So I'm assuming that means it's in the queue to be processed. That is weird. It's just kind of bouncing here.
Yeah, I've got to do the BitChute thing. I need to get over there and do that. I need to go do the Parler.
Parler, the new conservative
whatever
Twitter or whatever, something or other.
I don't know. Not that I plan on using it, but
yeah,
at least get the name and have a presence.
Yeah.
You never know. You people may start using it. You may start getting engagement, and that's where I migrate. Honestly,
right.
I try to diversify and get as many places as possible. But as far as what I use, just depends on the engagement I get.
Okay. Well, while we're on that vein, I'm going to ask a question. CloverTac, how did you come up with your name? I know it's simple or something that everybody knows. I don't know. I'd like to know.
Just to play off of I've got a very long history with 4-H.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I've also got the Irish tie, so it was just kind of a play off of that.
Nice. Okay. I meant to ask Ghost that when I see him. I want to ask him the same question because I've been working on possibly coming up with my own brand slash.
I can answer his for him.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you want me to. Or if you
I don't mind. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
Ghost was his call sign or whatever, or
Oh,
whatever
okay.
you call it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
in the Marines.
Jeff can tell you more about the military side of things. I don't know, but that's yeah. I don't want to say call sign.
I can't tell you about Marines. They're
Well, no, you can't.
unexplainable.
But from a military perspective, maybe it's not a call sign. That's more of a pilot thing.
It could have been a unit. It could have been a unit insignia. So I mean, some of the units that you're in have different logos, different mascots, different history behind them. I have some that were like that, but I don't know if they would work as far as this for him. But we'll see.
Yeah, I won't go into what he did and all that. I'll let him tell that story one day. But yeah, with what he did, Ghost makes sense.
Yep, that's cool.
Right. All right, folks. Well, looks like some of the people use BitChute and some don't. And man, see, we got two G's in here. We got G23 and G-Webs. Both are here. So G-Webs hit it on the head. Man, BitChute has got some bizarre, crazy stuff up there.
It's not the only one.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before with diversity of platform, and when people say, you got those people that complain that Full 30, Gunstreamer, so forth and so on are echo chambers, right? And then you've got these other platforms that are not echo chambers, like Brighteon, BitChute, and I don't have a lot of experience with BitChute, so I'm gonna lump it in there just because of what G-Web said and everything else I've heard. But Brighteon, BitChute, YouTube, which yes is still up. And the problem is those platforms that promote quote unquote free speech and quote unquote no censorship and all this other stuff, come over here and do whatever you want and be free. The problem is YouTube's mainstream. YouTube don't allow all that. So the people that can't put their stuff on YouTube, where do they go? They go there. And who are those people? Those are the weirdos that are making content.
Oh, kind of like TikTok for kids, and grown people doing it just seems, I
guess, kind of, but I mean, there's weird stuff. Like, I make the joke that I go over on Brighteon to upload, and the number one video or whatever, the video behind mine when I upload is the gay pedophilia bestiality priest of the Catholic Church that joined the Illuminati or something, and you're like, what in the world is this video? I mean, just like G-Web saying, just weird. It's not, I get conspiracy theory and I get difference of thought and opinion and stuff like that. That's great, but at some point you cross a line into weird. You really do.
Yeah.
And when those platforms that open up and they're not niche specific like Full 30 or Gunstreamer, they open up and they get that weird in, then that's all they're known for. They'll never be mainstream.
Oh, right.
Because there's such a weird presence there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like what am I thinking? What's the prime time? It's just like primetime TV, right? You're not going to see off the wall, crazy, weird stuff in primetime television.
Like commercials for Slap Chop that they do at 3 a.m.
Right. Well, even the TV shows, and I mean they push boundaries. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to see just off the wall weirdness like you would on cable access television or something.
Yeah.
On primetime TV.
The channel has to have some legitimacy for some amount of time so that people will go to it and be able to actually get useful information and not just have that fringe stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think G-Web's kind of hit it on the head. Full 30 founded itself with this commitment to only work with the absolute biggest channels, and they happen to be the ones that are more like commercials. Like everything was just a paid video, and they pissed me off. But they also,
I've addressed this too, Jeff. Full 30, the Full 30 you're talking about and the Full 30 today are two different things. Full 30 has changed hands a multitude of times since it first came in. It's changed hands as far as ownership and people in the tech and over it and that sort of stuff. Much more creator centric now, much more open to receiving creators now. working on expanding the platform a little bit. And unlike Gunstreamer, which, I had a conversation with the guy that come in and helped Gunstreamer actually last night on a podcast. But um, with Gunstreamer, currently they don't have this dynamic. But what you have with Full 30 is you have a forum style dynamic that works in conjunction with the video platform. So you've got almost like a social media presence. It's almost like a YouTube with a community tab, or a Facebook or something like that.
Right.
More engagement opportunity
Oh,
rather than just
I wasn't
posting
aware
videos.
that I wasn't aware they changed hands. So
Oh yeah, they have
I feel
several
kind of
times.
bad for I feel bad for shunning them because they pissed me off so thoroughly early on that I was like, I will never be on that platform.
Yeah, well, never say
Um,
never, because things change hands and you know other stuff. They've changed hands. I can't remember exactly how long I've been on Full 30 now. Maybe a couple of years, probably not that long. Um, and I think they've changed hands twice since I've been I've
wow.
been on Full 30. Yeah, yeah. So, well, let me look at Gunstreamer. Gunstreamer's what, in their third year or something like that now,
Yeah.
and they were fixing to close down when um, the people from Gun Critic stepped in and everything. They were like 2 days from shutting down when they had some help step in and decide to try to keep things going.
Well, I hope that Gunstreamer can figure out how to monetize because the crap that they rolled out where you got to go get a special link and you can't embed it or anything, it made no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Like it's been
Well,
completely useless from a monetization standpoint.
I'll throw this out there for those that are watching or listening to this, and even in replay if they've made it this long. God bless them. Um, that what I'm talking about, I was on with Hank Strange on his Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded channel. For those that may not be familiar, I know Gear Report audience doesn't necessarily cross over to all that, but anyway, go look that up. Um, Last night, and like I said, the dude's name from Gun Critic that's helping out Gunstreamer, his name is Matt, and um, that was a pretty good conversation. At least the first hour and a half was pretty much all about Gunstreamer and some of the ideas he had with monetization and a lot of different things.
Cool. I hope they figure something out because we desperately need an option, a viable option other than YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, I hope they can make it work. So when the guy from that's helping Gunstreamer, was he talking about here's our plan and strategy, or was it more like we're kicking around some ideas like
They're
this?
kicking around some ideas because realize it hasn't been that long ago that they said they were going to shut down. What, June 30th
Right,
was their last day?
right,
So it's been a couple of weeks now, and they just stepped in about 2 days before that.
yeah,
So they're still getting a feel for the ropes and what's going on. He said right now they were working on cutting fat. That there was a lot of things that they were trying to stop the bleed. Basically, is what he called it. There's a
wow.
lot of things they're working on money wise behind the scenes apparently, and some things like that. And they're just the rest of the stuff. They're kicking some footballs around to kind of see, what they might can do to spice it up. So, but optimistic. I mean,
Cool.
he speaks very optimistic that they can make something work, which is good.
Awesome. Yeah, hey, I'm looking forward to them making it viable. And, Gunstreamer, I would love to see them with a streaming capability,
Yes, since it's in
which
their
we haven't
name,
seen
right?
yet. Yeah, yeah. Will Gear Report ever host your own vids, permanent on your own server? Dude, I gotta tell you, my web host would crap himself if I even suggested that. Um,
All right.
yeah, I think that the billing for hosting our own videos and getting any kind of speed whatsoever, which you have to have if you want it to work at all. Um, the billing, we're not in the right operating budget to even think about that right now. Yeah. I'd love to do it. I'm a big proponent. I've said this for a long time. When we started doing gun reviews, I talked to a guy that, he's a bigger channel than Gear Report, but he's not huge. He's got, a little bit of name recognition. He certainly thinks he's bigger than he is, but he told me, and now I distracted myself and I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I completely lost it. You'd think I was drinking before the show, and all I have is water in here. I think the problem is my coffee cup went empty right before the show started, and I didn't fill it up. And I should have, because I can't think well when I'm under caffeinated. So
well, I wouldn't blame you after everything you've gone through today if you were drinking. So you would get a
yeah,
pass on that.
I should. Yeah. All right. Let's see. GPRC. Huh. Interesting. Gun Rights Policy Conference, GRPC, is virtual this year. So G-Webs, if you can share the information on that. Other guy who hosts vids. Yeah, I know. He's trying to help me. He's trying to help spur my memory on where I was going, because I actually had something meaningful to say there and I completely lost it. I don't know. It'll come back to me later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close, but I can't retrieve it. Okay, so let's move on to recently completed videos. And that means I need to go to this screen. And this one's kind of neat because this is a new contributor at Gear Report. I may have mentioned him. Did he have one last week as well? I think he did. Jason Sanders is like a corporate jet pilot. I don't know if he's like a NetJets guy or if he works for a specific company, but he flies all over. So he's shooting some review videos on Humvee stuff, like in this case, the big spare tire carrier that goes on the back. And he's also going to do kind of what I've been doing for the Joyrider TV sailing channel, as I'm traveling around and shooting kind of a guest. He calls me the roving reporter for Joyrider TV. So I'll go around the East Coast of the U.S. and go sailing with people, and I'll take the video cameras with me, and we'll submit those to his weekly Show Us Your Cat show. So Jason is doing that for me, for Gear Report. And I thought that's all he was going to do, and he has figured out how to edit video on his phone and is just going nuts with it. And he's having a blast doing a bunch of upgrades on his Humvee, and is recording and making videos for those. And I'll tell you, it's embarrassing for me if I go back, and here's another one of his. So he did the spare tire carrier, and then a new seal for the tailgate, which Humvees leak like a sieve everywhere. So it isn't a seal to try to like environmentally seal it. It's really to keep the tailgate from rattling so much. And and that video didn't embed properly. I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyhow, he is filming segments and editing them for the weekly Show Us Your Humvee, which I'd love to show you this week's episode that keeps getting taken down. But yeah, it keeps getting taken down. So Jason filmed one of the Humvees in there. Here's the one that I fessed up to earlier, that I'm really fond of the hero image on
That's
this one.
Clickbait, right?
Makes
there.
me want to get a stand-up paddleboard, I guess.
I think the term you're looking for is money shot.
It is. Yeah. So So would this entice you to click on and read that article, see what it's about?
Doubtful. Not that I wouldn't sit there for hours looking at the pictures, but I doubt very seriously I would read the article. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Right. Right, I gotcha. So this was a guest post from a guy that's going to do, I think he's going to do a couple more. Let me get to the bottom of it. Mark at Kayak Guru. We'll see if he does any more. I don't know if he's going to come on board and actually be a part of the Gear Report team, or if he's just going to submit some guest posts here and there. We'll see how it goes, but kind of a guide to looking for a stand-up paddleboard, some of the different options, different types. I really like this type of article because there are a ton of people who don't know the basics at all and don't know where to start, and this can really help them narrow down what type of product to get. You know, this kind of high-level guide to a product category with just the basics. I absolutely love this type of article.
Sup. He's really into this ghetto slang, ain't he? Sup,
dude. Yeah. So have either of you guys done a stand-up paddleboard?
No, I don't do water stuff. I don't have gills, and I'm not Kevin Costner. So
I have not tried it. I've done several others, but nothing of that vein as of yet. I would be interested to do it, though.
Can I review it in my bathtub, Jeff? Could I do that?
Wow, you must have a big bathtub. But sure, I don't care.
Well, that's between Patreon money. I could use my Patreon money, and I could expand the bathroom with Patreon money and get a big garden tub so that I could review sup boards. Just so I could say sup all the time. Sup.
Sorry. I laugh. I need to put the things on the screen before I laugh at them.
Right.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah. Hey, I openly admit that's why I chose that image. Yeah. Why not? Right.
Yep.
It's still a good article though. All right. So let's go back. So let's go from booties straight into muff pistol. And this is another guest. Yeah. Why not?
This is another guest post. This is a very risque episode. So I'm just saying.
Hey, it is. Yeah, so this is another guest post. This one, Jay Chambers, and when I told him this one published, he said, "Oh, great! Can I work on another one?" So he's going to do another one.
Well, yeah.
And he does some writing for a couple different publications, and he has his own site. So I don't know if he'll actually want to come on board. He runs MinutemanReview.com. I don't know if he wants to come on board here or not, but he may contribute a few. He may join the team. We don't know yet. We'll see how everything goes. But look at that. She has got two hands right in her muff, right there in the middle of this article. And that I am not even going to say, when I was reading about, what in the world does this mean? And I read that the muff pistol is small enough to be stored in the muff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, in what? And then I realized, I looked at some pictures and realized what they were talking about and was like, oh, that's kind of brilliant.
Very popular in prisons, I hear.
Okay. Yeah. So anyhow, we got some information. If you're looking for one of these little black powder, what do they call them? It's not just black powder. It's that certain type of action. Flintlock is the word I was groping for. If you like these little tiny single shot flintlock pistols, like the precursor to the Derringer, which I know G-Webs is a big Derringer guy. If you like this type of thing, this will give you a little background in what they're about and where to find them should you want to purchase one. All right, moving along. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's another one that published. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I will show you episode 19 of Show Us Your Humvee, because we got this cool thumbnail image with the patriotic decked out custom Humvee with the red, white, and blue And, I'm hoping it gets people excited so they'll scroll down and click the link, and then bam, thanks YouTube. Yep. And I didn't put images in here, but we've got a custom 1123 Humvee that's decked out, and then a very basic
awesome. I'm not a Humvee guy, but that one is awesome. I'm gonna just tell you.
Yeah, I thought the interior, it reminded me of the Batmobile, the early Batmobile, not the late one.
That's true. Yeah.
The Adam West Batmobile. Yep. So so then we had one that was just it was an M998 of first generation early Humvee, very similar to the first one that I had. That was the Project Humvee Battle Wagon, and then the last one was the Battle Wagon 2.0, and then we show the Battle Wagon 3, which I think it's hilarious that the auction company, you go through the government auction, you purchase, you send them every bit of the money within 3 days, which in this case for me is, I was pushing 30 grand on this stupid truck. This is the most I've ever spent on a vehicle. I send them all that money, 27,000 and some change, and then I just have to sit and wait until someone gets off their ass to process the paperwork. That in normal times is supposed to take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks, because I've already been through this background check process before, a couple times. But now it's like, yeah, we don't know. We have no idea. It'll get done when it gets done. I'm like, this is acceptable on what planet? You keep selling them, but you're not doing the paperwork so people can actually pick them up. So I am about to initiate a congressional inquiry through my congressman or senator or something.
Cool.
To say, this ain't right. This ain't cool that they keep selling them, but they're just sitting on the paperwork. If they're not going to process them, they need to stop selling them, because they're tying up significant sums of money. I got a lot of money tied up in an asset that I can't get rid of if I need to, because I can't get possession of it. But that's my soapbox. So anyhow, what you'll see if you go to BitChute, once it finishes processing, if you go to Facebook, you'll see the original version of the video. I didn't upload the new version yet after I recompiled it with some different video. But what you'll see is someone walking around and checking out the Battle Wagon 3, and kind of give me a little bit of an inventory of, here are the things they found that are going to need attention, and some parts that I had asked about. Hey, I see in the pictures that this part's missing. Can you find it anywhere? Is it sitting in the truck somewhere that we just didn't see in the auction pictures? So I know if I need to buy it and have it on hand or not. So really neat. But the funny part that I started to say earlier is these auction yards are very locked down, secure. They got cameras everywhere. People aren't supposed to be able to get into them and mess with any of the vehicles. And I happen to know a couple people who buy commercially through the auctions. They buy in a high enough volume that they've gone through. If you buy enough volume of vehicles, you can get cleared at a higher level where they will let you come onto the property and have access to the vehicles. And they both went and shot video of the truck for me. So even before I brought it home, I'm able to share video of the truck, which is unheard of in the military vehicle community, and I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so let's move on to Mr. Dover. What would you like to tell us about this Henry rifle?
The Henry rifle.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Go read the article. I didn't write it so I could dictate it to everybody. Come on. Now, no, in all honesty, I mean, it's a Henry rifle. It's everything you'd expect from Henry, right? The wood, the fit, the finish, everything, pretty nice. The only issues I had, I mean, I talked to them. down below. Run several different types of ammunition through it. Interestingly enough, whether I was running 150, 155, or 170 grain, it at 75 yards, that's as far as I pushed it. I didn't take it away from the home range here. But at 75 yards, the point of impact, no matter what I shot, was well within grouping distance. You know what I mean? To that,
Yeah.
you could have hunted with it. You could have literally mixed your ammunition up and hunted with it. It was that was interesting with that for sure. And I talk about that in there. One, it gets hot really, really quick. I don't know if any other lever action 3030s, and I don't own another Henry. Not in 3030 anyway. I don't know if they get hot like that or not, and they're not meant to be shot obviously just as fast as you can work the lever, like rifleman style, anyway. So
Right.
sort of makes sense. And that's the round barrels, not the heavier octagonal barrel. So,
Right.
that didn't concern me much. Actually, I didn't even really talk about that too much, except to mention that it seemed like as it got hot, the Monarch ammunition, and if anybody's familiar with that, that's the cheap ammo that comes from Academy. It seemed like it kind of wanted to stick the empty brass in the chamber, and so it was kind of difficult to work the lever. You could get it out. You could really get guerrilla style down on it and work it and get it out. The screw at the rear of the tang that holds the buttstock on, that thing wanted to get loose on me. And yeah, I took a picture of it there so people know what I'm talking about. That
Yep.
that wanted to get loose on me. And I remember I referenced Budget Guns and Gear. I referenced his with the axe. He had a loose screw issue as well with that. So just reminding people to check your screws, Loctite them. If they tend to get loose on you, and you'll be good to go. It's all that was. I don't see that as a big deal. And then the sights, man. I passed out past about 50 yards for sure. That semi buckhorn on that, I just can't. I can't work with it. And that's totally
Yeah.
me. That's not a reflection on the rifle. Luckily, I got hooked up. I think maybe it was a patron or somebody that mentioned Skinner sights. I got hooked up with them. Got a rear peep on that thing, and it's good to go now.
Cool.
And there'll be a review on that eventually. So.
Yeah. Awesome. And I've got the Henry all weather that I think I have located some ammo. I just haven't hooked up to pick it up yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's holding me back. So yours is 3030, right? Yeah, there it is, 3030.
Well, that's one of the reasons. You remember we kind of talked about that
Yeah.
at the time, and that's one of the reasons I had 3030 here, and it really didn't make me any difference when we were discussing that.
Yep. And I got the which one did I get?
In retrospect, maybe we should have swapped out and done something different, and maybe. But I'll tell you this: I was doing some stuff with it, and I was using 150 grain Remington core locks, and
Mm-hmm.
up until that point, the Walmart store had been great, had plenty. Didn't have a problem, and I know it'd get like a box or two as I was going along and playing with it. And I had something that I needed to do because I wanted to get this article out, wanted to finish up one last video on it, all of that. Run to 2 different Walmart stores, 2 different gun shops, no 3030 to be found, period, anywhere around here. So I don't know if people around here, big hunting area around here, right? So I don't know if with hunting season coming up, you're starting, in the next few months, you're starting to have people worried about can they get it during hunting season and they're buying it now, or what. But it was odd to see 3030 sold out on the shelf. I mean, it really was.
Yeah. 45 Colt is what I was struggling to remember.
Yeah.
That's what I got, and I thought I had located some early. Like a guy that used to do some writing for Gear Report has some and loads it. But I didn't want to get the reloads. I wanted to get factory ammo, and I wasn't able to make that happen through the routes I was taking. So I eventually gave up and said, "Hey, Chris, can I get some rounds, whatever you can spare, just so I can function check it and show it being shot, and I'll publish it as due to ammo. This is all I was able to do right now. I'll follow up later when I can get some ammo and shoot it more. That's the best I'm going to be able to do, and it's killing me that it's a beautiful rifle and it feels really good. It cycles pretty well. I had a Rossi, I can't remember what model it was. It was their version of the 336, and it had a little hitch in the lever moving, where it would get hung up sometimes and like jam, but it wasn't the round jamming. It was some part of that mechanism was binding. And I took it apart and did some polishing and filing, and it was far more than a fluff and buff, and finally got it operating smoothly. And then decided, you know what, I don't think I like this. So I sold
this one, when it came in, I mean, it was a little rough. It was beautiful rifle, but as far as starting to work the action and stuff, I thought it was a little rough for Henry. And but then looking at it closer, it was really dry. It came in fairly dry, and so got everything lubricated up, of course, and then you got a little bit of a break in. And I mean, after a box of ammo or something like that, I mean, it was lubricated in a box of ammo. I mean, it was fine. But one of the things with the one you've got, I've got about 300 rounds probably through this one with various testing and playing around and doing different things, which is and that's a lot, honestly, for this rifle and for a 30-30, because you're talking about people are probably going to purchase this thing and they're not going to go out and use it for a range toy. They're going to hunt with it or something. And so if they run a box a year through it, that's about it. So 300 in just a few weeks is a lot.
It is. Yep. Well, cool. Thank you for sharing that one with us. And I think with that, we have wrapped up the recently completed reviews segment. We can talk briefly about reviews that will be published soon. Let me think. Do I have anything that I know is coming up immediately? I have so many things that I can do. I'm not sure exactly what's going to come out first. I did receive a care package from Gun Mag Warehouse yesterday or the day before of AK mags. And I just reached out and said, hey, I just need a mag or two. I got nothing. I just got an AK and
started off by saying, you started off, don't lie. You started off by calling it and saying, this is Jeff from Gear Report. What are you going to send me? Right? That's what you started off with, obviously.
Oh, maybe I should have. Who knows what I could have gotten?
They know who you are. They know how big of a deal you are. Everybody does.
If I'd have flexed, I could have got boxes and boxes. But all I said was, if do you have anything that you would like to send to be featured in this review? And he said, yeah, I'll send you a box of mags. Do you want all the same thing, or do you want me to throw a couple things in? And I said, the more different models you send, the more I have to talk about, the more links I can put back to your site. So
you just tell them, say, hey, send me the same thing you sent Clover Tack, and you'll get all of it.
That's right. Get the whole catalog, baby.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do that.
They'll just give you keys to the warehouse. They'll just tell you, come get whatever you want.
There are 8 magazines in there. And I think 3 of them were the same. It's their kind of house brand of a Bulgarian steel AK mag. And then they sent some, there was an X-Tech and a couple other. I'll have to, you can handle magazines on camera in a live stream, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I wasn't sure, so I didn't bring them up. Maybe I'll remember to bring them next week.
Yeah, all kinds of magazines. Field and Stream, Boys Life, whatever. Yeah.
Sup booty.
I don't know about that, but yeah. So coming up, we're talking about. Are we talking about in the queue, or are we talking about just things on deck at this point?
Whatever you want. Anything that you have on your radar, either something that's like just come in or
Well, I mean, I've got a
something you
couple. I've got a
think you're
couple
going
in
to
the
do soon.
yeah. I've got a couple in the queue, as you know, and I wasn't necessarily going to talk about that unless you wanted to. Um, but I'm behind on a lot of things, and I know I kind of inundated you the last few days with knocking out some reviews, but good Lord, I'm so behind. I mean, I had a goal of wanting to do, at least one and maybe two a month or something like that this year. And I kind of got behind on that goal big time. So I got a lot of things left to do. One cool thing that I got in the other day, we're talking about getting packages. I don't know if anybody out there is familiar with, Emil Sued with Gunstock reviews, but uh, he did obviously I did that do it yourself video with the redneck rest. That's what I'm calling the redneck rest now. And been
Right.
using that, and people seem to enjoy that, right? But anyway, he actually had a contact, actually Mike from Ransom International, famous for the ransom rest, of course. Um, Wonderful rest, hold world records. There's world records held with their rests and everything else. And anyway, he was having a conversation apparently with Mike from Ransom, and um, my redneck rest came up for whatever reason, and it's all part of this networking and us knowing each
Huh.
other and sharing
Yeah.
contacts, that sort of thing, right? And he mentioned it, and they pulled my video up, a couple of my videos, and watched it with that stupid redneck rest. So I got one of the most premier rests in the world, the guy that makes them, right, watching you may use a redneck rest, 2x4s and plywood. And and anyway, Emil sent me a message, and he says, "Hey, you need to get in touch with Mike at Ransom. Uh, he was really impressed by your redneck rest, and he's like he wants to talk with you." And I'm like, "Okay, this could be interesting." And first I thought he was jacking with me. Obviously, if you know Emil, he's kind of a cut up. He wasn't, and so I called Mike and had a great conversation with him, and he basically offered me the moon. Quite honestly, it was very flattering, considered some of the high dollar rests that they've got. And I told him where I'm at right now, and everything else. Would the actual hostage rest, that grips the pistols and stuff like that, has the grip inserts? Would that be awesome to have? Sure. But every time I tested something or whatever, I'd have to have a new set of grip panels, and I'd have to use Patreon money, or they would have to put the bill on that. And so we settled on this multi-cal steady rest that they've got. I think that's the cheapest rest that they sell. Yeah, there it is on the video, the unboxing I did. And he told me all about that, and they offered to send me one of those, which was awesome, and try that out. One of the features I liked about that thing, which I just used actually in a video I filmed today, was that it mounts to a tripod. So you can use that rest, in the standing position. So you can kind of practice your normal standing stance and all of that with it. Um, but really cool rest. I've only used it the first time today doing some videos. That was just an unboxing video, kind of showing the components and how it's made. But everything you would expect from a company like Ransom International, of course. They're what's the word, the prestige, of a company like that. Um, yeah, everything in that rest. It's by all indication it's an awesome rest. It's really going to help. Um, future content on the channel without a doubt. I think at this point, not a lot of experience with it, but yeah, definitely look for that. Not only a dedicated probably review on that coming up here, maybe in the next couple of weeks, even if I can get out and shoot on it some more. But look for it to be, mentioned, featured, linked in all kinds of future articles as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a cool thing about accessory products like that, and this is something that there are a few brands that have figured this out. And anything we want, we just send them a note, and they'll send it because they know they're going to get a huge payoff because we'll keep using it for years, and we'll mention it every time we use it, and it really works out for them. Some brands don't see it that way, so yeah, it's good that you're able to hook up with someone who makes such a respected product like that.
Right.
That's really neat.
And that was,
Mitch,
like
you have
I
anything
said,
you're working on?
that was through no efforts of my own. That was pure networking and who you know. So it's important, like I said, that we communicate and all that.
Just looking for the spark to strike. I don't have anything sitting and waiting. Just trying to get some ideas right now, but something coming soon.
Okay. Let's talk after. Remind me that I got a couple inquiries about brands asking if I had someone who wanted to look at something. So
sure, absolutely.
If we can talk about those offline and see if any of those interest you.
I want 3 of them, please.
Have some. Yeah. I'm not sure if they're. I'm not sure if this company has the D list or not. So, if they don't have a D list, then
I understand. They're not worth my time.
You may be off of it. I don't know.
I get you. Not worth my time. I understand.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure I remember what the brands were. I'm kind of blanking because it's been a whirlwind for me this week trying to knock some stuff out and having some technical difficulties that fried me today. But anyhow, I'm telling you, it's still really pissing me off that episode 19 of Show Us Your Humvee, the first version of it I thought was pretty good. And then when I re-rendered it, I changed out the really cool Humvee, the super custom one. I changed out that video. The guy had seen that I made a comment in the first version about, oh, I wish he'd shown the interior. I'd really like to see it. So he went and shot a new video and sent it to me. And I'm thinking, well, when am I going to use this? I already published it. I'm not doing it again. And then when YouTube kept pulling it down, I was like, well, okay, maybe I need to just re-render it. So it's a completely new video. And I used this new segment, and it was like 1.5 minutes longer. So instead of 7 minutes, it's 8.5 minutes.
Oh,
and
that means
like, all right, this is going to be okay. Exactly. Yeah. And it was, it's like, all right, this is going to be a winner. And then bam, they smacked me again.
So I want to ask a question along that lines, because the one that I shot today and edited, and I did everything I could possibly do with the footage that I've got, short of just filming me standing there and walking around, and could only get it to about 7 minutes. Do you foresee 8 minutes is not that long? Do you foresee a mad rush of 8-minute content?
I don't know, because from my perspective, and I don't study this as much as I should probably, and the ins and outs of how to get YouTube to like your content and promote it better, and how to do better in search and all that. I'm not anywhere near as good at that as I should be probably, but I understand that one of the big metrics is what percentage of completion do you get, or whatever they call it. How far into people get on average before they abandon that video, and the longer it is, the better as a percentage. So the longer your video, the less likely people are going to stick around for the whole thing. And if they leave too soon, that's actually kind of like a penalty, is how I interpret it. Well, so
the average video length is about 4 minutes and 20 seconds on YouTube. No pun intended. 420.
Yeah. So I honestly, anyhow, I don't try to make them longer. I try to make them compelling and interesting and keep the pace up at least somewhat. And so that people will want to stick around and watch. And however long it is, that's how long it is. And that's just generally how I tend to do it. But yeah, will other people try to hit that algorithm by going for the 8-minute videos? Yeah, probably. All right, so I think we have successfully completed reviews that will be published soon. I will give a little hint. I'm not going to show anything here. There's one coming from Clover in the next day or two. I think it's ready. I just have to queue it up. And I just saw that TJ has got one in the pending queue for the, this is another look at the Boyd's Spike Camp gun stock. So we've already seen Toby got one and reviewed it. So we will see what TJ thought about it because he got one as well. So yeah, we'll have that coming. All right. And with that, we descend further down the well to the shit shooting part of the show. So this is the free for all. What do y'all want to talk about? And the chat appears to have gone kind of quiet. So I'll ask anyone out there if you have any products you'd like to see reviewed, any what's going on in your neck of the woods with the virus and all the stuff that's going on. Whatever you want to talk about.
Or questions on anything we talked about, obviously. I don't know. I don't know what.
Randall, why do I have Randall at Gear-Report?
I will say this: if we talk
about how that happened, Randall's not here. There we go.
If we talk about cough, here in Texas, there's a governor order or whatever about wearing a mask, right? I still refuse to do it, and so I deployed a tactic the other day because I was actually asked to wear a mask, and I said I told them because I didn't want to necessarily be specific about it, but she said, sir, you have to have a mask to go in. And I said, what if it's illegal for me to wear a mask? And she said, oh, well, that's fine. Go on in. So I was like, okay. And what I was alluding to was kind of a half truth of, hey, I'm carrying, I can't wear a mask when I'm carrying. And then it got me to thinking, because I see other people that I'm like, that person, there's no way that person's carrying, but they don't have a mask. What's going on? And so I, the asinine thing, to get off on a side thing here, a tangent, if you will, is the restaurants here. They want you to wear a mask from the front door to the table. And from the table to the front door, but you could take it off once you're at the table. And it's like, that makes no sense, but whatever. Anyway, back to
the germs can't get you at the table, man.
I guess so, man. That's yeah. So we got some kind of force field in play. Anyway, so now, because every sign I've seen, some signs are really small, some places have bigger signs that you can actually see and read, but I've made a point to read those signs just to see what they say. And they say, by order of the governor of the state of Texas, blah, 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 blah. But every one of them at the bottom, it says, there's an exception for people that cannot wear a mask for a medical reason, yada, 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 right? So now, since that one time I said something about illegal, now if they say something, and I've only had 2 times that they've said something since then, 3 total, but I've just told them I can't wear a mask, and they're like, I didn't elaborate on why. And from what I'm told, if it's a health issue, they can't ask anyway. And they were like, okay, go on in.
Right.
So each state has to pass a law. If you wear a mask, you can't concealed carry.
No, I don't know. I'm in Texas. I don't know if other people.
I'm in Texas too, and I'm not worried about either.
I don't know if other states have that regulation or not. Odds are, I mean, it's not going to be an issue for you if But here's my thing: if I was cornered with that and somebody wanted to question me on that, here would be my thing. somebody would say, well, what are the odds that you're going to get caught wearing a mask while you're carrying? Well, here's the thing. So if I go into a place, and especially with all the goofy and crazy and weird and unknown going on in the world right now, I go into this place and I'm carrying, and especially if I'm open carrying, it's pretty darn obvious, right? And in Texas, we can do that. So it's like, it's pretty darn obvious that I'm carrying with a mask at that point. But let's say that I'm concealed. And you're right. I could get away with it unless I needed that firearm. And at that point, I would have a mask on. I would use my firearm, and then I would be in a pickle potentially, because here I am doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, and I've got caught by it, right? So it's one of those things. It's a really weird, sticky situation where it's like you're literally asking me to choose what I'm more. I don't want to say afraid, because that ain't the word, because I ain't afraid of any of it. But you're asking me to choose. Do I think my odds are more that I will need my firearm, or my odds are more that I'm going to catch the cough, right?
Well, I tell you what, if I see any of those coronaviruses, I am definitely going to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
Those viruses are going down.
I agree. I think they're going to find the cure is lead and copper. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there. I don't know how other states work and the orders that are in play and other things, but if you don't want to wear a mask, tell them you can't wear a mask. And if they insist, then you've got to make that decision whether you want to patronize. Is that a patron or whatever that play you want to shop there, or not, or you want to turn around and leave and go somewhere else. And sometimes, for me, I'm not gonna lie. Each time that I did that, I had a mask in my cargo pocket, so I could make that decision of, okay, I just need to run in here and pick up a salad bowl, right?
Right.
Because I'm hungry.
Well, I'm reading
Is it really worth an argument with an employee at the door over a salad bowl, right?
So if you have a Texas concealed carry or license to carry, it does not affect anything if you're wearing a mask. It doesn't affect your right to carry in Texas. So no big whoop. I just wear a mask if I'm going to wear one. It says, ask Smith & Wesson or ask my Glock or something like that if they have questions. That'll let them know.
Boy, all the law enforcement and everybody around here, and I mean, they don't know the law anyway. That's what they tell me, is that if you utilize that firearm and you're wearing a mask, that there's potential repercussions for that. So I don't want to get. That's kind of what Andrew's getting.
Just make sure that if you do have to engage targets with that just to make sure that they don't get back up, that you cough on them a couple of times.
Here's the other thing, Mitch. This is the other bad thing. Wearing that stupid mask, my glasses fog up. So what are the likelihood that I'm wearing that mask and my glasses fog up, and then something happens and I can't see to shoot? You know what I mean? That's a handicap at that point.
Yep.
So just tell them. I'm telling you, just tell them you can't wear a mask, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't. Honestly, when you think about it, it doesn't have to be a physical reason you can't wear a mask. There's such a thing as mental health as well, and I think at this point I have a mental aversion to wearing a mask. So I think legitimately I can't wear a mask. It increases my anxiety. And everything else, I can't wear it. And who are you to tell me otherwise? Right?
I'm kind of a hermit. I stay up here in my office most of the time. So I don't go many places where I would run into issues. But I've thought about, like, if I'm in line or walking around the store and someone says something to me, what am I going to do? And honestly, I think that probably the tactic that is most attractive to me right now is really just saying, okay, I don't have a mask mask on me, what's your goal? What do you want to happen here? I mean, what are you expecting that confronting me is going to win you?
Yeah.
Would you want me to leave? Because I will as soon as I pay for my stuff and I'm done.
Right.
You know. But
Right.
I did wear one. About the only place I've worn one was the doctor's office. My son had an allergic reaction to something, had a rash all over his body, and Benadryl made it go away. And then when the Benadryl wore off, it came back. And so we're like, yeah, we don't know what's going on with this. And I didn't fuss or anything. I was like, you know what, doctor's office, sick people coming in here, it probably makes sense to wear a mask here. And I didn't worry with it.
Right.
But we went to
Doctor,
the grocery store and I just didn't.
well, a doctor's office, I mean, think about the elevated risk for everything, not just cough, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So yeah. But yeah, the grocery store and and I will tell you what, I'm so annoyed. I'm going to rant for a minute because I'm so annoyed by this 6 foot rule in this personal space or social distancing crap. If we're going to
Right.
practice social distancing, there needs to be a rule at how fast you have to walk. First of all, there needs to be a walk speed limit. And there needs to be a rule about just stopping right in front of somebody or in the doorway of the store to check your damn phone, period. Because I can't social distance if you stop right in front of me. So my
Yep.
rant's over. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's annoying.
But if you cough behind them, I mean,
Right.
that would in years past, that would be like the kind of not so in your face kind of casual way to get people to move, you know.
Right.
And today, would that be seen as, what, are you assaulting me? Are you throwing COVID at me?
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because they could see it that way. Honcho Fett is worrying me a little bit. You know, where's his Jason mask? People don't
Hey,
mind, but they don't like the blood.
it's a mask. It's a mask.
Right.
Indeed. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is I wore the mask, and it was that the neck gaiter thing that has the skull on it,
Happy
and I
smiley
wore
face.
that in the doctor's office,
Nice.
and no one said a word. And it's like, okay.
So I went
And that's the
into,
only thing that, yeah.
you talk about nobody
Go ahead.
saying a word. So you go into some places here, most places here, and nobody cares. But so we went to a different town. This town, ever since Cough has started, this town's been like the county and everything. It's just been just crazy with it. And so I'm with my wife, and I don't want to, I want to have a good day out with my wife, right? And so I do wear a mask. We go two or three places, and I wear a mask. So I've got this mask, and we're in the car, and I've got it pulled down. It's pulled down around my neck, and I'm like, I'm really thirsty. We should have got a drink at that last place. Stop right here at this convenience store, and I said I'll run in and get us some drinks. And so she pulls in, and I get out and just put my mask on because I figured, okay, I don't want to, and I walk in that place, and there's two black dudes behind the counter working the cashiers or whatever you want to call them, I guess. And I walk in, and I notice they're looking at me hard when I walk in. I have to walk around the end of the counter area to get to the coolers. And I walk by, and he says, "Hey, bro," or whatever. And I turn around, and I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You don't have to wear that in here, man." I pulled it down. I'm like, "Thank God, man." And he's like, "Yeah, it's all BS." Right. They went on a 20-minute rant on the wearing masks, and he's like, "Yeah, we don't want people wearing masks in here. We have enough problems. People come in trying to rob us." And I'm like,
No
I
joke.
bet that does make convenience store and liquor store employees and stuff very uncomfortable that everybody that comes in has a mask now.
Yeah, I would think so.
I had seeing DeVitt's dad talking about the respirator thing. I've got a buddy that's got like an old World War I or something gas mask. And to be a smart aleck, he's been wearing that around town. He's had a couple places believe it or not, ask him to leave wearing that. And he's like, "This is the only mask I've got." He's like, "And it's a better mask than these other people or little paper thing they're wearing around. What's the deal?" And they're like, "Oh, you can't wear that in here." Like, okay, I'll go somewhere else.
That's crazy. So an actual mask that would filter something.
An actual mask that would filter chemical weapons, right? Not just the cough.
And they say no. They say no, you have to leave unless you're wearing something useless. That is practically useless.
Yeah. Go get a useless mask and come back here like a normal person.
Right. And not here's the other thing that annoys me. We're talking about things that annoy me. So I've got to put on a mask to go in your store. But if I go once I'm in your store, like every other employee and customer, I can pull my mask down around my neck. I can pull it down off of my nose. I can wear it on my forehead. I can put it on my crotch. I can do whatever I want with the mask once I get in the store, and nobody is going to say anything. But I got to have a mask to get in the store. How does that make sense? If they're going to enforce you wear a mask to get in the store, why aren't they having people in the store enforcing people to keep wearing their masks, including employees, not just customers?
I don't know.
I see you got no answer for that. And I like the banner down there, by the way. It's awesome.
I don't have an answer for any of this. I really have no answer for any of this. It doesn't make sense to me.
No,
really.
Not at all.
But I'm telling you, Danny, do either of you guys use what's the app? The website is called Nextdoor, I think. It's like the neighborhood social network.
I did in South Carolina, but I'm still trying to untangle myself from that, even though I live in Texas now. But it was so annoying to see all. This is because, again, this is my rant. The people that were in the HOA, they had every day it was a new complaint about other people who were just trying to live their lives. I didn't live in a slum. I didn't live in an upper class. I just lived in a regular working class neighborhood, and people would take hours out of their day to rant these emails and say, so-and-so let their dog pee on the thing, and so-and-so. I'm like, Karen, just stop. Or Dave or Joe or whoever, find something else to do. Get a hobby. Go around and walk. Just stop trying to be everybody's nanny. And I'm glad I left, but it was horrible. So Nextdoor for you, Jeff?
What do I? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you brought it up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's what you said. We got a neighborhood full of Karens, and we got the people who have been virtue signaling and trying to shame people nonstop. It's like I want to ask them, do you have a job? Because all you do is sit here and scream at people about how, they have to wear masks to keep you safe. Like, dude, stay home.
Right.
You
have a choice. You have a choice.
Amen.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I originally left the military and I moved to Texas the first time, and this is the first house I ever purchased and lived in this house in Texas. And on, 4th of July, on Veterans Day, I had a U.S. flag hanging off of a post, off of the side of my house, in appropriation with the way that it's supposed to be done. I got a letter from the HOA stating that I could not put a flag outside of my house. And which is funny because before I made any comments or replied, I went around my neighborhood on other holidays and I noticed that there were houses that had flags from countries that were not the United States. No one complained about them. I didn't complain. Your house, you can fly the flag of any country you choose. That's the freedom that you have in the U.S. So I wrote a very eloquent letter about my time as an active duty U.S. Army soldier, my, oath and everything else. And I said, I will fly whatever flag I choose for my house. If you want to take it down, you're more than welcome to come and try. Very, very, very politely, very respectfully. And they wrote me back a letter and said, we apologize. We didn't mean to say that you couldn't. And I was like, absolutely, you can't. You can't tell me based on your HOA rules that you can't fly a flag outside of your house. So some HOAs make the rule that you have to have it on, a pedestal, or it has to be in-ground cement and a certain height and all this other nonsense. But on my neighborhood in Texas at the time, and every year, 4th of July, Veterans Day, my flag was out. It never got rained on. It never got damaged. You're supposed to take care of it. But things like that, little things get under my skin. Big things I don't mind so much. But little things like that, it's like, this is the basic freedoms that we should be able to express.
I would, after that, I would find the biggest, most obnoxious flag on the planet. I think Jeff would do the same.
You would be Camping World.
It would be like your house would look like it was getting tinted for termites or something. Just drape it over the entire house.
Just paint the house red, blue.
Yeah, that's what I saw someone do a couple years ago. That got in a big fight with the HOA and ended up just painting the front of his house like a flag or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, are we running out of things to talk about, folks?
Probably
so. All right. Why don't we go ahead and start shutting things down? So thank you, everyone who has given us an hour and 21 minutes of your time this evening. We really appreciate it. I hope that we were worthy of that gift of people's time. It's one thing you can't get back, right? Mm-hmm. So we appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate Clover and Mitch for being here and being a part of the show this evening. Thank you. Always a pleasure. So any parting thoughts from you guys?
I do. I mean, very seldom do I plug anything. If Mitch wants to go first, I need to find a link that I would like you to post, if you would.
Sure. Thanks, everybody, for joining. As always, check us out on Gear-Report.com. Clover Tax, always good to talk to you and hang out. Everyone have a great weekend, and thanks for joining us.
So I'm going to throw a link in a private chat because I don't think I have the ability to put it out there, Jeff. But there is the 2A Patch Batch 2020 going on, and I know Jeff was a part of the Patch Batch last year, and we've got another group of Patch Batch people, a lot of great 2A activists, content creators, organizations, that sort of stuff. And so check that out. I mean, if you want to jump on board with that, there's a few days left. Just to support those people. I mean, that's less than $5 for everybody. I think there's 12 different people involved, so less than $5 goes a long way. And if you're only worried about the superficial, well, that's 12 cool patches. There's some awesome designs that's going to come out of this, same as some of the awesome designs last year. The Gear Report, for fact, logo, whatever there, which is amazing. But yeah, a lot of cool patches. So less than five comes out to less than $5 a patch, which is an amazing deal on some cool patches that are going to be limited edition. So just wanted to pimp that more than anything.
It's a phenomenal project, and I was very, very humbled to be a part of it last year. And yeah, we haven't gone through all of our patches. I have found that I'm too stingy with them. I should probably be more generous with them, but they're so nice and so awesome that I feel like, I got to save them for, something. I don't know what for. I mean, I haven't even sent a patch to everyone that contributes to Gear Report, and that's just wrong. So I'm going to get on that. I'm going to send everyone a patch. And the other project I need to do soon is to cut some window decals. And if people say yes, I would put one in the back window of my car or something, send them a patch and a decal. And I don't know, I did something else.
What do you think, Jeff, about the Gear Report reviews or whatever? What do you think about a sticker like that, like a colored with the orange and the black, white, gray, orange sticker like that.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
I could help you out. I've got a contact. We'll talk off air about that though.
Good. Because I'm too cheap. That's a problem.
Yeah,
And
that's what I said. We can talk off air about that.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Everyone, thank you. We really appreciate it. Go check out Patch Batch. Support them if you're into the patch stuff. It is a phenomenal project that G-Webs puts together and benefits a lot of good people, good causes, and some organizations that can use support and do good things with it. So I think with that, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. So until next week. Oh, I pointed the camera this time. It worked. We'll see you at the range.